it's me, Mary, and I'm here today to share my craft room with you. So I thought I'd start at the beginning, sort of coming up the steps here. And as you can see, my room really is sort of like a loft area in my house. It's not really a room. I think it's only like 9 by 11 maybe, with a little extra space to walk around over here in this area. And I guess we'll just get started. So here we go up the steps and into my craft area. And I'll just sort of pan around a little bit so that you can see over the ledge there. And then around to this area. And so as I walk around, I'm going to turn over here so that you can see where we just came from. Down those steps there. And as you can see, I got some bookshelves over here. And then some shelves of paper. And then I got a little room divider. This is like my door, I guess you could say. But I really don't have a door. But here's my main craft area right over here. So if we walk over this way, you can see I got a little window and a window overlooking the living room over there, and then all of my scrapbooks. And I have close to 100 scrapbooks, so I'm really proud of myself with that. That is the one craft that I just absolutely love. I love scrapbooking, so this is what all this stuff is for here. So I guess that we can get started over in this area over here where we first came in. I'm just sort of moving slowly back there so I don't make everybody dizzy. And that's my son's room right there. And then as we go back around, we'll start right here. So the first thing off over here is I collect a lot of vintage things. So I have this vintage typewriter here, and this record player. It's not vintage, but it's supposed to look that way. And then I have, this is like my Tim Holtz area, I would say, in these blue boxes here. I would, Tim Holtz and sort of like vintage ephemera and that type of thing. So if we look in here, you can see all these things. And I've got them just pretty much packed in there. There's not a whole lot of room for anything else. So I'll take you up this way now, so that hopefully you're right side up on your computer. Hopefully I'm not making everybody too dizzy. But as we go down here, I have the Calyx Unit with a bunch of those, the boxes that you put in there. And I also have the 2 doors on the left hand side there. So what I do here is I'll open these things up for you. This is all letterpress paper, and then underneath it is colored cardstock. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it goes pretty deep. And it's pretty heavy. And then in this one I have all of my like ribbon and velvet, and I have a couple of these roller, what do they call them? They make your paper all crinkly anyway, so I thought this was just a good space to put these in because I had some extra room. And then right here is where I keep all of like my collections of things, and I keep them in these bags. So as you'll see here, I have a bag of the Warm and Cozy by Jen Hadfield, and I keep all of like the washi tape in there and the wood veneers and everything that goes with that collection, so it's just easy to find. And so I have those right here. And then if you open the door here, that's mostly all my Maggie Holmes collections in there. So I try to keep those separate because I use them so often. And if you look down here, I have just extra overflow paper and some cutting boards. So going into this one, I have all of this AC cardstock. I don't know if I'll ever be able to use it in my life, but it's there and it's available for me. So actually, I used to work for Michael's corporate office, the craft store, and so I got a lot of this stuff at their sample sales. So this isn't stuff that I really bought, a lot of it anyway, but I did buy a lot of it. And then here I keep some of my most used stamp things, like my stamp blocks, and let's see what else I got in here, my stamp cleaners, and just a couple of stamps that I normally would use. And then I have some of these books that I made, like the one I made from Kauai, and then I have one from when I worked at Michael's and we went to Asia, so I have one of those. So I only have 2 of those types of books, but they're really nice to have. It was a fun, easy project to do. And then over here in this one, we have more paper. So you can see it goes all the way down. It's all colored cardstock, different types. And then in this one, I have all of like different storage type items. So like command strips, glass jars, just plastic storage, anything you can think of for storage I keep in this box. Now I do try to keep everything separated and together, if that makes sense. So I try and keep all of my, like for instance, all of my storage stuff together. I try to keep all of my like paper together, but paper's hard because you got a ton of it, so it's sort of all scattered all over the room. But as you'll see, I try to keep like items together. So here we go. In this one, I have some more ribbon in my ribbon keeper, and then these are all flowers in here, all the paper flowers. And then in this drawer here, I have like eyelets and yep, just all of my eyelets. And here I have a lot of my Tim Holtz distress crayons and distress, what are they? Distress glitter. And then this drawer up here is empty. Yay, one empty drawer. And then, sorry, we have this drawer up here, and this is all more flowers. And then my grandma's magnifying glass back there. As we go along, we have, now this is all like Halloween and Christmas ribbon, tulle, wood veneers, all of that type of thing. Underneath here, I also have all of my flower making crafting items. In this one here, I have some of my books and my pages and page protectors from Creative Memory. I solely use Creative Memory for my books and stuff like that. I also use just their tape. I love their tape. So I am definitely a Creative Memory fan. And here I have a bunch of vintage items. I have my grandpa's stapler in here, an old ruler and watering can. I have this Crayola set. It comes with like an ice bucket and a bunch of glasses. And then I have all my appliques in here on the binder rings. And just neat little things like that. So I think we took care of both of those units on the ground there. Up here I keep all of my thread and sewing stuff, and then a little overflow of Tim Holtz in that #1 box. I just got my little Frigidaire refrigerator, which I'm so excited about. It keeps 6 cans of Coke in there. And then on this twirly unit here, I have a bunch of stickers and what is that called? Lace, sticky lace. And then I have just a bunch of, like, you know, some vintage items that I really like to keep out. I keep my little little bells, little spools, little stamps, and all that type of thing in here. And then in some of these jars I have my ribbon wrapped around the clothespins and around the old bobbins. And then I have a basket of well, like, this is my pigment ink right here. So, and then I have some old vintage books. And then here is sort of my overflow of paper pads. So I have a bunch of Willow Lane in here, wildflower, some Christmas, and that type of thing. So if we go over here, back on these shelves, these are actually Billy bookcases with complement shoe racks. So if you look here, this is actually a shoe rack, but I just used it for my inks, but you can have storage underneath here, which is pretty neat. So I really like to use these. I have storage underneath almost every one except that one, of course. But I keep my Distress Oxides up there and lots of paper. Then I have buttons on this shelf, more paper, and some more of my collections down there. And then I have my grandma's rocking chair, which I just love, and I miss her so much. But it's nice to have that in here. And then up here we have more Distress Oxides, more paper, some Distress Stains, excuse me. And then I have some just more, I love these magnetic little boxes here, little circle boxes. They keep a bunch of my little things that I just wouldn't normally know where to put. And then down here I have all of the We Are Memory Keepers boards, and I am keeping my Christmas cards that I'm starting to make right there. And then over here is where my divider is with my little tassels. And I have I got these shelves off of that not Craigslist, but the Facebook Around Your Area. So I got them for like $10 each. So I know they're normally like $100. I was really lucky to get those. Really lucky. But on these I have all of my papers, and then over here I have some overflow iris cases with some Christmas stuff in them. So I got a lot of Christmas stuff that I'm working with right now, so I sort of have them out and about. And then in these boxes down here, that's all my mailing supplies in that one. And then in this one I have a lot of my, gosh, what do you call it, metal stamping stuff in there. So, and then right here in these boxes are kids' art projects and just some books. And if I take, well, I won't do that, but in this basket right here, I have all stamps. And as you can see, my kitty cat's been scratching on it. So that's where I keep a lot of my wood-mounted stamps. And then over here I keep my cardstock, and then I tied some ribbon on the edge over here. And then in these right here, these are called, oh my goodness, it's escaping me. I should have my paper by me. But let's go look over here real quick to see what they're called. I got my little paper here. They are called Bavaria plastic hanging storage boxes. So I have those filled with my hip kits and my citrus twist kits, and then up on top I have Christmas. So I have the Pebbles Cozy and Bright, and also the Merry Days that I'm working with right now. So I think that's it for this side of the room. That was pretty fast. So over here I have a nice magazine rack where I keep all of my scrapbook and cards magazines, scrapbook, etc., and all the older magazines that are no longer in publication. And here we go. We'll go to this area now. So we'll start over here, and of course I have my shelf of scrapbooks, which I just adore. They're like my favorite things ever. They're gonna help me when I am older and can't remember anymore, so I try to keep as up to date as I can. Here is my candy machine, which I converted into buttons and pom-poms because I'm a little weird like that. And then we have up here, we have my letterpress stuff in this basket, and then all of my embossing powders in there. And then if you move down, I have an old telephone and an old desk set. And in these are from Container Store. They're the Alphas. And I just keep pillowcases on top so that the sun doesn't bleach out my paper, but this is where I keep all of like my open stock pattern paper that I only have one each. And I have them in this one too. And then down over here, I have my grandmother's typewriter, so that's really special to me too. In these Alpha units, I have on the bottom shelf here just like all cleaning supplies, just like supplies that I didn't have anywhere else to put. The press and seal, the pipettes, the tape, cleaning solutions, towels, baby wipes, post-it notes, all that type of thing. And then in this one I have overflow of tape. And that's a lot of tape. I don't need any more. And over here I keep some iris cases full of the different collections. So I have 2 of them in there. And let's see, get it all the way out. You can see in the back there I'm keeping Christmas trim and bells and just cute little pom-pom trims in the back there. In the top part here I have some mailing envelopes, some more colored cardstock. This is the fancier stuff, the higher quality cardstock. And then I have some parchment paper, colored pencils, and that type of thing in this one right here. So then if we move up here, we have that carousel, and I just keep all of those sticker books by the designers in there. So I have the Heidi Swapp and Maggie Holmes, Jen Hatfield, Paige Evans. And then I have my Sizzix right there. It's the power one. I have a disability that makes it a little bit hard for me to scrapbook, so anything powerful or with a power unit on it, that's usually what I'll get. So in this first drawer here I have all of the Whimsical collection, and that was one of my favorite collections ever, along with right here the Horizon collection. And these are the Alex drawers, by the way, from IKEA. And in here I have all of the rest of the Pink Paisley collections that I wanted or had. So they're just sort of mixed up in here a little bit. And then here I have Dear Lizzie and Amy Tan. This one is all Christmas and it's just packed to the brim. And here I have Maggie Holmes and Maggie Holmes-like items. And then when we move up over here, I have Altenew sprays, Liquitex paints, the Tim Holtz markers, my gesso, my sparkles, my artsy paints, Pink Fresh Studio watercolors, and all of that type of stuff. Up here I have, all the way up, I have an ashtray with a cigar. I've never smoked in my life, but I just think that it was interesting. So I kept that. Then I have the books that spell out my initials and some vintage buttons. I also have a vintage telephone, and I have that neat We Are Memory Keepers bloom. That's really a cool little, thing. I keep all of my charms and trinkets in there. Some 6x6 paper pads and washi tape down there, my art light. And then in this one, I have all of my shimmers, which I just love. I love the shimmer sprays. I think I have almost every one of them. And so we'll go in these drawers right here. Again, an Calyx Unit. These are all like dies and stamps. These are all dies. This one is all Pink Fresh Studio. Oh no, this is not Pink Fresh Studio, is it? Yes, it is. This is all my Pink Fresh Studio stuff. And this is my Alta New drawer. And then I have more Pink Fresh Studio. And more Alta New, all of my stamps. So I don't have a ton of stamps and dies, that's why I don't really have a system for them. I just keep them in a drawer. Oops, sorry about that. But it just works just fine for me because I don't stamp a whole lot. I just get the stamps that I really, really want, and I use them in my scrapbooking. So if you want to go in these drawers, you can take a look. In the top one I have all of my Alta New artist markers and watercolor paints. And here I have a bunch of sequin mixes, bling, and that type of stuff. In this drawer I have more glitter, some larger papers, and the gel printing plates I keep in there. And I keep a bunch of the Maggie Holmes gift wrap in here. In this one I have a bunch of Jane Davenport inks and a lot of pens and the wire for the We Are Memory Keepers, what do they call it? The memory jig or the happy jig. Hello. And here's where I keep all of my pastes and my glitter pastes. And I keep some inks in the back, the Gina K ones. And here's where I keep all of my Alta New and my Distress inks and Lawn Fawn as well. So now we're moving along to my desk area here. This is where I sit and create. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of room, but there's enough for me to create here. So out the window here I have a view of our pool and palm trees, which I just love. It's like the best view ever. And I have my Cricut maker and some bells and different pens on my desk that I really love. And my lion, which is an antique. It's a sewing caddy. It's so cute. It has a measuring tape for a tail, and the scissors are the glasses. They're so cute. And back here I have all more shimmer stuff, and I also have the Lindy Stamp Gang powders. And so right in here, there's really not a whole lot to see. It's just my scraps of paper. I keep them color coded in here. And down here I have some different embellishments, papers, and that type of thing. And then under my desk, which I really filled up, let's see what we got here. These are all pattern paper and just paper collections, and I have Halloween boxes of Halloween items. And then over here I have more unused creative memory scrapbooks. And then here I have a little caddy that keeps punches. So down here I have a bunch of punches. I have more punches in here. More punches. And this one is like perfect pearls and some ink pads. And then this top one is that magic mesh, which I still love, and I know it's like a vintage product, but I love it. And then right here is my like go-to drawer for everything. You know, everybody has one of these. It's just packed with all of your useful tools. And so here is mine. The second drawer here I have my trimmer, my page protectors, my cutting mats for my Cricut, and those types of things. And then in this bottom one, I just keep kids' artwork and gift bags and some wrapping paper and tissue paper, old calendars, some memory type items in there. And here I have my sewing machine, which I just got, and I absolutely love my Stitch Happy. It is such a neat machine. And I also have my Caterpillar, which is great. I just got that as well. Up here is my Project Life cards drawer. I don't use that too often, but I do love the cards. I think they're so pretty. This one is one of my embellishment drawers with all the stickers that I use. I consider these sort of like kitty stickers, childlike stickers. And then in this one I have letters. And then this one is more like ephemera pieces and die cuts. This one is more letters. And here is where I keep my completed pages. Until they go in the book anyway. So that's what I have in there. And then up here I have my Pottery Bar and wrapping paper station. And some glitter on there. Over here I have some antique cameras and one of the books that I won from Vintology by Lola, the Halloween junk journal, which is so pretty. I just don't know if I can use it. It's so pretty, but I'll have to. And then down here I have an IKEA wire. I don't know what it's called, but I keep a lot of my stickers on it that I use a lot. I have thread down here. This is how I keep my pictures sorted in that box. And then I have my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter. Over here in these baskets I have wood-mounted stamps. I mean, it is just packed with wood-mounted stamps in both of them. And then over here I have findings. I love this little drawer. And more adhesives. I keep my gelatos in this antique cookie or candy dish. And then over here in these drawers, I have to move this out of the way. I keep all of my cards. And more cards. And some mailing supplies. Right here I have a chair that was made just for me. It's so cute. It has a kitty cat on it. And then it has fur for the seat. I just love it so much. But as you can see here, I really don't have that large of a room. I mean, it's pretty small and it's pretty packed, so you can really get a lot of stuff in a small area. I'm definitely due for a bigger craft room, but it's just not in the cards, so I just fit what I can in here. I hope you enjoyed my craft room tour, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see anything else, please let me know, and I'll be sure to show it to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, friends.